Welcome to your Brilliance and Demand class, how to get your dream career, through the 5 shifts to get this brilliant dream career you always wanted to have. Today I will introduce you to some very helpful tools furthering your career, no matter where you are in your life. This is for career professionals who lost their job or in career transitions, whether you have been searching for a new position for years or you're just fed up with the job you currently have. You want to be and better yourself in the job you own, or you want to find the courage to do something completely different. Either way, this is for you. In the next 45 minutes, you will discover how to own your story, leverage your fears, and unfreeze your strengths so that nobody can push you around anymore and you finally earn your worth to be on top of the world. I will also teach you how to let go of the numb feeling and old patterns by identifying your emotional rocket fuel and to be excited about each day. How to use your I am skills and stand in your own power, owning your story without condemning it and therefore freeing yourself. How to unlock your potential by rewiring your brain without losing yourself in the process of work. You will discover how to get the job interviews without having to send out thousands of CVs and never hear back. The secret on how not to lose your head but stay in control in an interview, even if you were asked the weirdest questions. How to create a job, life with full purpose and lose any kind of anxiety, stress or blockages which might stand in the way of living all your dreams. My promise to you, I will show you today a step-by-step, easy to follow strategy, eliminating all obstacles to get your dream career. There are some tiny rules. We are not feeling entitled just because. We are not getting the job by doing nothing. We are not getting the job by faking an expertise we really do not have. We want to live authentically. The extraordinary results of my clients are not typical. They show up with authenticity and willingness to change their life to the true better. They were coachable, decisive, and resourceful, and they had true courage. And that's what it takes. Does this sound like you? If you have a job where you can't stand being there anymore, not even one day, because the environment is so toxic, if you have so hard worked every day, but you can't seem to for anything what really truly matters for you and what it's worth living for, when you get overlooked promotion after promotion, but you have no clue why, when you secretly search for work which is worth more than you get paid, but you're afraid to look for a new job because it seems just way too risky? Does it sound like you? When you fear to apply for a job where your soft skills are not 100% matched to the job description? When you are disgusted that your boss receives all the credits for your hard work? When you have competitors in your job whose skills are half as good as yours, but they get the promotion every single time because they know how to sell themselves? You experience anxiety during interviews? Do you feel trapped in a past and there seems to be absolutely no way out? Stopped every time you try a new approach? Well, here's the real problem. You are not in your driver's seat. You are not co-creating your reality. You have not made the shifts. Once you make them, you will have complete control over any kind of blockages and self-sabotage, and your previous years will work in your favor actually. You don't have to be jealous of anybody else anymore and anybody's success, because you fully understand the secret principles of being a supremely functioning co-creator of your own reality. You know how to tug on the energy web to pull things through in your favor this time around. Once you make the shifts, you get out of bed on fire, can't wait to make your unique contribution to the world. You name your dream job with an excellent interview. You know with certainty that if you can dream it up, it can become reality for you. Dream big is always what I say to my clients. Most people dream way too small because they think they cannot have, or it's too difficult, or cannot be, or it's only for other people. But that's not true. Only that these other people know certain tricks you do not know yet. You will get up in the morning and to do your happy dance because you know that everything is possible. Now here we come to the 5 shifts, and that's what it takes. Shift 1. Own your story. If you do not know who you are, then you do not know the platform on which you stand. The first thing is to know yourself. Did you realize that you are not made only out of your DNA, but that actually 7 generations, yes, you heard right, 7 generations of your ancestors' beliefs are still working within you? Well, if you acknowledge yourself for who you are with your strengths and your weaknesses and stand behind yourself, then other people's button pushing can go right through you instead of being in your system like a fish-hook. Can you imagine that you really truly believe in yourself? Not fake towards other people, but really truly you believe you're worth it and that you are actually enough? Change your perspective and you change your whole life. Own the brilliance you are born with. You can bring the problems of your life through the needle's ear and make something positive out of it. Own your story, because you are born a diamond in the rough. The diamond gets its sparkle through the facets. Faceting is done by abrasion. Our life gives us such abrasions and such scenarios. Own them. Accept these facets of life and in yourself, so that in the end you can be that beautiful, most sparkling diamond, radiant out in all direction. Know your individual tools that can polish you to become this brilliant diamond. Let's take fear. Everybody has experienced fear in their lives. Fear can be life-saving in dangerous situations, but can also let us freeze up like the mouse in front of the snake. Nobody wants to admit fearing or to look at their fears. But you know what? That's exactly the points which can bring you to your strengths if you know how. The trick is to use the fear points in our life to our advantage to unfreeze us. We harvest the previously frozen energy and utilize that energy by redirecting it towards a new vision, thus giving it a new direction. We own it and therefore transform it. Look at your fears. Wherever you sense fear, there is indeed untapped energy potential. Shift number 2. Change your patterns. It is indeed simple. If you change your patterns, you change your life. The question is how to do that without paying thousands of dollars to a therapist and losing valuable time in years of therapy, talking but not doing, and especially not quickly shifting. The answer lays in your body and brain connection. All beliefs and patterns have an imprint in the body. If you can point to it in your body, you can change your belief patterns within a few minutes. Believe it or not. You just have to go to the original source, when and where it all started. Once we pull the rug from underneath the problem, anything built on top can crumble down automatically. Case study. John. Now, the name is changed because this is a true occurrence of one of my clients, and so I wanted to give it a little bit different name so that if this person by any chance hears or sees this, they don't think, oh my God, she chose me. However, this is a true story. John wondered why others always got promoted and he never ever seemed to make a headway, even though he worked harder than anybody in his division. John had problems in math and his teacher ridiculed him and always showed him up with other pupils doing it better. John's mother confirmed even his belief. Now, normally your parents are supposed to support you, but do they always do that? Do they always know how to do it? Anyway, so John was not good enough. She confirmed it, but he could be, she said, if he only worked harder. Therefore, he was always the hardest worker anywhere he went because he wanted to show that he could do it. But he was never good enough. He harvested experience which proved him right. And his subconscious belief was, if I work harder, I can be better. But because of his mother didn't believe that and he took on that belief, it never really worked out because there were two contradictions happening. One was this willingness of his, yes I can and yes I will and yes I do and I will show them. And his subconscious said, yeah, you think so, but it's never happening. Never ever you to amount to anything. And that's what we are up against. Our consciousness wants something and believes something, and our subconscious says, hell no, it's not happening. After recalling the experiences at school and changing and balancing the imprint of it, and therefore his belief patterns, we changed not only his work life, but also his love life. Nice side effect, I would say. From now on, he has always been seen as good enough. He gave himself permission to be the victor and not the victim, and changed the emotional pictures in his subconscious. I gave you already a very valuable hint here. The two words, always and never ever, lead us to our subconscious beliefs. And as we had just seen, without our subconscious wanting to prove what our logic thinking does, it's not happening. And then we can change things with the two words. From now on, I allow. From now on, I give myself permission to. So, as he gave himself permission to be the victor and not the victim anymore, and he unraveled these subconscious beliefs for himself, he got the next promotion in a different division and earned even way more than he would have in the previous round of promotions. I can only say kudos for the courage it took to look into those patterns, realize where they came from, and change the imprint in the body and in the mind connection. So the next shift number 3, is how to do exactly that, to rewire your brain. So first you have to know what patterns you have, with the two words always and never ever, and then changing into from now on, I allow. From now on, I give myself permission to. But now comes the deeper connection, the long-lasting connection. How we don't create a one-day fly out of a short flighting belief, but really embed it in our system. Case study number 2 will be you. We will do one of the exercises I did with John now. You can transform anything and everything, anxiety, stress, anger, frustration, physical pain, emotional pain, with this method. If you can point to it in your body, you can transform it. I also call this the instantly feel better method. Close your eyes and listen carefully. At this moment, when you tune into your body, where do you feel the least comfortable in your body? If you want to work on a particular theme, for example, a physical pain or anxiety, do the same thing. Where in your body does it resonate, that anxiety, that frustration or anger? Where is it anchored in your body? Then give it a color, form, shape, and temperature. Because color, form, shape, and temperature triangulate in your brain where this feeling is created. So again, color, form, shape, and temperature. Always use what comes to mind first. Color, form, shape, and temperature, from that connection of what you want to get rid of. After we have now described to ourselves the color, form, shape, and temperature in the area of our body which is linked to the discomfort, we now do 21 rapid eye movements. With those 21 rapid eye movements, we disengage the neurotransmitter firing from those beliefs. With closed eyes, we move our eyes to the very right, counts as 1, to the very left, counts as 2, and to the very right, counts as 3. So in other words, you close your eyes and you to the very, very right, 1, very, very left, counts as 2. And I will count for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. As we have now disengaged the neurotransmitter firings from the area in the brain, now we do an emotional release. We are breathing the area of discomfort, the color, form, shape, and temperature we had there, into the center of the heart, into a needle point, for acknowledgement. Because we cannot let anything go when we are not acknowledging it first. So you're breathing it into your heart, and then you're breathing it out with the essence of, but I do not want you anymore. Like acknowledging in, like I acknowledge you, you need to be there, and but I do not need you anymore. And we are doing this 8 times full force. Allow yourself to breathe deeply. And I do it for and with you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Awesome, great. Now we continue with another 21 rapid eye movement. As if we would say with our eyes, no, 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 I do not want to have the expelled energy back. Like before with a rapid eye movement. With closed eyes, and I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Congratulations, you did it. Now compare. How did it feel before and how does it feel now? I guarantee you, you're feeling already lighter and better. This was a very valuable exercise and you can do it easily on the go. I repeat so that you can maybe take notes. You describe what you want to work on, anxiety or frustration, physical pain, whatever. You feel in your body, where is it located? You give it a color, form, shape and temperature to triangulate in the brain where this feeling is created. You do 21 rapid eye movements, meaning with closed eyes, move your eyes to the very right and left and so on, 21 times. You breathe the area of discomfort description to the center of your heart, in and out with the essence of I acknowledge you, you needed to be there, and out, I do not need you anymore, 8 times. Then you reconfirm with your eyes in rapid eye movement another 21 times that you no, do not want to have this energy back anymore. Case study number 3 is Regina. Regina had been recently let go of because of reconstruction in the company. She had been in all director positions. She could think of director of sales and marketing and finance, you name it, she did it. When we met, she was only looking at director of sales positions, believing they were the easiest to come by, as sales is such an enormous field. I personally saw her in a totally different position. I saw her in the director of operations position. After practicing the power of the word and the power of own your story shift 1, understanding her belief patterns shift 2, and rewiring your brain shift 3, she used the secret weapon shift 4, the mind-to-mind talk, nailed her interview and got the dream job. Now her income is 4 times higher than before, even though she was previously on an income decline because of her age group. Now here we go to the secret weapon shift number 4. I mentioned it already, the mind-to-mind talk. Have you ever felt being watched, turned around and saw somebody looking at you from far in a distance or across a room? Have you ever picked up the phone and knew who was on the other line before the person even revealed their name? Have you ever felt something which you knew for certain was not your feeling? Then try out the mind-to-mind talk and be amazed. And your medium is trained to talk to energy. Let me show you how it's done. You're tuning, for example, while closing your eyes into a person. Take a random person, maybe a person you have a conflict with, and ask, what would you need from me that we have better communication, for example? What would you need from me that we get better along? And listen what the person says. Just the first thing which comes to mind. Because this kind of mind-to-mind talk is actually having to do with the soul connection between people and the interdimensional web, like the Matrix. Everything is connected. Everything is interconnected. Every person is interconnected. So we can tap into that. And that's how we do it, by using the mind-to-mind talk. There's a little bit more to it, but I can tell you about these things in person. Case study 4, the interview. This is another case of the mind-to-mind talk. Janice had a problem with interview. She was so fearful. Have you ever had an interview and you were speechless because you were so frozen that you didn't know what to say anymore, even though you had it so well prepared? And then all of a sudden, there's no thought anymore and all logic goes down the drain? Anyway, she was very qualified and proficient in her job, but failed to get a better job because she could not pass these interviews. She was so frightened of these interviews that she each and every time froze. So I told her to close her eyes and to go forward in her mind to the time and place of the interview and see how many people would be in the room, and then go in front of everybody one by one and ask them what they exactly wanted to hear from her, what they exactly needed from this candidate. And when you do this, don't let your logic go into the way. Just always get what the first thing is what comes to mind. So in her case, everybody answered her authentically, including the fourth interviewer, who told her that she would ask tricky questions because she did not want to be replaced. Now, can you imagine that? You normally think about the person has one interviewer, maybe two. So all of a sudden you're sitting in front of a panel of 4 people, and one person says in your mind's eye, I'm not going to let you pass. I do not want to be replaced. I'm going to ask you a question you do not have any answer about. So at the time, and as the time came of the true interview, to her surprise, Janice really found 4 interviewers in the room. And they asked exactly the questions, maybe in different wording, but energetically, asked exactly the questions she was prepared for. And the fourth, she couldn't throw her off her path because she was forewarned and therefore forearmed. And for the first time ever, she nailed that interview and got that job. Pretty amazing. Now comes to a difficult decision part. That's the 5th shift, and that's where a lot of people don't make it to a better world. Invest in mentoring. If you don't do it with me, fine, but do it with somebody, because then you can unlock your full potential. Shift from this exhausted animal of burden, because we all carry some sort of burdens with us which we are not even aware of. And here in our example, the burden of blinkers, you cannot see the full picture, and shift into the lion and shift into your strengths. When I learned about synergy therapy in the early days in Germany, the gentleman in his introductory class used the lion. What we all as participants didn't know at the time was that the lion is the symbol of strength. So he took a blindfold on, he played music, and then he played very, very loudly a lion's roar. Really frightening, loud roar. And guess what people did? They had totally different experience, each and every one of them. Some put that lion in a cage because they were frightened. Some said, wow, and took an arm over the lion's mane and walked into the sunset, so to speak. Others introduced them to their family and said, here, look what I have. I have a lion as a friend. Some ran away from the lion screaming. Every single person had a different experience. And you know where I'm getting at with this, right? That shows you whether you accept your inner strengths or not. That simple exercise in that synergy therapy showed each and every one of us where we stood in correlation to our own inner strengths. So let somebody remove the limited blinkers from your eyes and expand your view into a bigger and better, clearer perspective. Sometimes we just need an outsider and an outsider's perspective to simply an advocate to free our back for us and see the brilliance we do not see within ourselves. And believe me, I would love to be your advocate. I always want to help people who have been beaten down, because I see the brilliance in them. I see like what they're born with, those talents they sometimes cannot see within themselves because they have been so beaten down by life itself. Today I promised how to own your story, leverage your fears, and unfreeze your strengths so that nobody can push you around anymore and you finally earn your worth to be on top of the world. How to let go of the numb feeling and old patterns by identifying your emotional rocket fuel and be excited about every single day. How to use your I am skills and stand in your power by owning your story without condemning it and thus freeing yourself. How to unlock your potential by rewiring your brain without losing yourself in the process of work. I also promised you how to get the job interview without having to send out thousands of CVs and never hear back. The secret how not to lose your head but stay in control in an interview even if you were asked the weirdest questions. How to create a job, live with full purpose, and lose any kind of anxiety, stress or blockages which might stand in the way of living all of your dreams. We did some exercises for that. What you need to win. Own your story, so know your hidden story. Pay attention to your ancestors' beliefs. Know your subconscious imprints with the 2 words always and never ever. Know the platform on which you stand. Then change your patterns. Know where your pain sits so that you can let it go and act from the platform of strength and power. Most people do not pay attention to their patterns. They don't even know that they're running on autopilot anymore. So pay attention to these patterns. And if you identify them, change them. Next step, rewire your brain. Create new neurotransmitter firings and neurotransmitter pathways for a more suitable lifestyle. We did the exercise. Use the secret weapon. Use the mind-to-mind talk to find out the truth behind any kind of situation, of a person or situation. And then, last but not least, invest in a mentor. Remove your blinkers and blindfolds and invest in a mentor who is an advocate just for you. These shifts are enough to transform your life, and now you have to make a choice. You have a choice. Actually, it's great to have choices, because if you wouldn't have a choice, you would continue to live the way you did. So again, who is this for? You must be a professional who is willing to be held accountable for your decisions and who upholds the highest standards of integrity. You must be courageous, decisive, and coachable. You must be willing to embrace change. If that's you, feel free to book a session now. If you're looking for band-aids, or you use yes, but a lot, or I know, but, and you have that in your vocabulary, this program is really not for you. Sorry. So how I can help? My team and I have set aside some time in the next 48 hours to speak with you personally about how you can apply these ideas into your career shift strategies starting today. Cost is absolutely free. And when we talk 48 hours, we meaning workdays hours. Now, who am I to offer you these things, and what makes me an expert? I'm Claudia Granger, a psychic medium by birth, who understands the patterns of reality and existence, and your existence too, and who has 30 plus years experience in shifting people's life. Yes, I started early with helping. I worked in a consultancy company, an American one in Germany, but I did way more than that. I worked on a lot on one-on-ones, counseling and coaching sessions in the evenings and even on weekends. Yes, I did not allow myself to have some rest because I wanted to work with as many people as I could. So I'm known worldwide as the authentic mentor of mentors who has helped really literally thousands of people from all walks of life feel better in any kind of circumstance. You name it, I dealt with it. I don't do only these coaching programs, I do a lot of different sessions. And I have indeed heard and seen it all. So my passion is actually about removing any kind of subconscious blockages which might hinder your success story. I helped it with kids in my son's class. I helped grown-ups, obviously, with their not only career choices but also divorces, to get their life joy and zest for life and smiles back. I did a lot of things. You name it, I really did it. Look on my website if you like and enjoy. Why are we doing this? Well, on the call, we will help you to get totally clarity about exactly what your goals are and the exact steps you should take to achieve your goals. If you want us to help you and if we think it's a good fit, we may invite you to become one of the secret few of our clients, and we invite you into our established client circle. For you to be here, just click below claudiagrangerbookings.s.me/dropshift-apply. When you're clicking on Claudia Granger Bookings as me job shift apply, you will encounter a calendar page. Grab a time to your liking and to your confidence and fill out a very, very, very short questionnaire so that we can actually be prepared to serve you best. It's in your interest that we can serve you in the best manner possible and with our true excellency. It will be a time filled with clarity, commitment, and compassion. That I also guarantee.